on the gram too, so they can follow.
Yeah. Let's get it. Wagwan, it's your boy, brother Noomsy, alongside.
TZ Dave.
Y'all know what it is. This the Sports Time Zone once again. It's on the Sports Time Zone, the only sports podcast bringing you two generation of sports takes. This the best time of the year for the NBA. This is a special edition. This is the NBA playoff edition of the Sports Time Zone. We got a really dope show for y'all today. First and foremost, TZ, tell them about that IG.
Oh yeah, go subscribe to Sports Time Zone on the gram. Sports_Time Zone.
That's what it is. Sports Time _Zone. Make sure y'all join it, holla at it, hop on. We about to start going live. We're going to be doing all interactive shows. So that means while we going live, y'all going to have the opportunity to chime in live while we on it. So y'all know what it is. Y'all make sure y'all do it. TZD set it up lovely. We're going to get a few more followers. And then in a couple of weeks, couple episodes, we're going to start going live right from here. Y'all know what time it is. Like we always do, salute the KE Creation. She laced my boy TZD up. TZ, show KE Creations.
Yeah, got the buzz going on.
Yeah.
Them boys.
Yeah, he got his boys represented nicely. Of course, salute to KE Creation. Put it together. You know, Giannis, he got the Giannis jersey. My boy is in full. He in full playoff mode. Why I see TZD like this in the
6. Let's go.
I love it, yo.
Who messing with us, man?
I love it. Also,
only team left, man.
Gene, again, salute to you. Good Life, clothing.com. Y'all tap in if y'all looking for that merch. Y'all know what time it is. Yeah, no doubt. But man, we're gonna jump straight into it because we about a couple of minutes away from tip-off for tonight's game. But let's talk about what already went down. Man, we gotta recap some of these games from the play-in tournament, man. I'm gonna start off. I know I'm not in the best mood right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there right now. Y'all already know, yours truly, brother Noomsy, represent the Heat, Miami Heat all day. I'm in travel mode right now, so you know that's why we're not doing it like how I normally do it. But the Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers had a game of the play-in tournament a couple of nights ago. My Heat had a chance, man. They had a chance late in the game to try to make this our win and get into that 7th seed. But we came a little short. Jimmy Butler, the big story from that game. Jimmy, he came up limping and hobbling with an MCL injury. We hate to see that in the postseason. That was horrible. That was our opportunity, our chance to get into that 7th seed. But Jimmy Butler went down with an MCL injury early in that game. He did stay in the game and continue to play, but you could see he was clearly hobbled and he wasn't himself after that. Who was that? I believe it was a member of Philadelphia 76ers who landed on his knee, and Jimmy just wasn't the same after that. And the X-ray showed that it was an MCL injury. But no excuses. You know, this time of the year, we can't use excuses. We can't sit there and blame injuries because everybody's
next man up mentality. You already know what it is.
TZ called it right there. Next man up. But I'm just going to look at the offseason right now because, to be honest with you, without Jimmy going into the next game that we have tonight against the Chicago Bulls, even if we win that game, going against the Boston Celtics is going to be a tough, tall order to try to do without your best player. I mean, it's possible. It could happen. Anything could happen. But regardless of what happens in the playoffs and in the end of this postseason, we need to make some adjustments in this offseason. And the things that I'm looking at that's going to make the Heat better, and I'm just going to touch on this real quick because I don't want to I don't want to take away too much from the playoffs, but we need to focus this offseason on making some moves to secure a legit score to help Jimmy out. when Jimmy went down or when Jimmy was hobbled, you see we struggled to score the ball. Everybody knows that about us, that we kind of struggle to score the basketball if Jimmy Butler ain't going. We got to search and try to find, we got to make ways for us to score, and we don't score as easily as other teams do. So getting another proven legit scorer to complement Jimmy should be one of the top priorities in the offseason. Also, get a real center so that Bam Adebayo can go to and move to the 4, which I believe his natural position is the power forward. If we can get just any type of serviceable 7-foot center, it don't even have, I'm not saying we got to go out and try to get a Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic, but somebody who can occupy the paint so that Bam can roam a little bit more freely and free him up for offensive rebounds and more of those lobs that we like to see him get. And then lastly, a backup point guard. We need a backup point guard, somebody to come and run the second unit who can handle the ball. Right now, we're using Caleb Martin to run the point. We got Tyler Hero trying to run the point. We got like all just different types of players. Bam bringing the ball up the court, which he can do, but that's not his thing. I would prefer we bring in a real legitimate backup point guard to kind of help the second unit and orchestrate things a little bit better. But
you on to something right now.
Yeah, man. I had a lot of time to think about this, but man, right now, I'm not as sad as I was when it first happened, when I first learned that Jimmy wasn't coming back. So I've kind of accepted it a little bit, and I had time to digest it. So now I'm just looking at what's the next step. What can we do that's going to help us and make us better? So I ain't going to dwell too much on that, Heat Nation. I know I pound the desk a lot and I go off when things ain't going right, but hey, when your best player gets injured, it ain't really much you can say except what TZD said: next man up mentality. Next man up. What? Real quick though, I know you know how I feel about my Heat, but what do you think are some of the things that we can do in the offseason that could help us get over this hurdle that we just can't seem to cross every single year?
I feel like it's a center for sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, help Bam switch his position, which I've always been saying that he needs to play the 4 anyway instead of the 5, because it just gives their offense more things to run through and how he can be more available for them.
100.
I will also say some shooting. The last 2 years, y'all had shooters.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all had Max Struz, Gabe.
Yeah.
Lamar was shooting the ball well.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of derailed y'all right now. Y'all don't have enough shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe. So y'all kind of relying on more 2s and 3s, and that's everybody going. They want 3s quick.
They want 3s, and we finished at the bottom third of the league in 3-point shooting. We score a lot of 2s.
You know Jimmy not shooting no 3s.
Yeah, exactly. And when your best player can't shoot 3s, that's an issue. That's an issue. So yeah, I agree with you on that, TZ. You kind of hit it right on the head. But yeah, we'll see what happens, though. We're still a little bit more basketball to go. We still got a game tonight against the Chicago Bulls tipping off here in a few minutes, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's slide over to the next playing game, which was over on the Western Conference. The Los Angeles Lakers, they beat the New Orleans Pelicans 110-106 in that game. What's some of your takeaways from that game that you saw where the Lakers squeaked by? Because that wasn't it was close. It was pretty close throughout the whole game, but the Lakers squeaked by with that win. What's your thoughts on that? Because you had New Orleans winning that game. You had the Pelicans.
I had New Orleans winning that game just because the season series been in the Lakers' favor all year. I just find the Pelicans, every time they play the Lakers, they don't have that urgency like they need to have when they playing them.
Yeah,
their spirits now all the way up. They're like, okay, we just lost to them. We need to come out aggressive and build on that and try to win this game because they've been smacking us all year. Like, and as a player, as a coach, like I'm saying the same thing to my team. Like, I'm not going.
Something's got to give eventually. Like you say, they've been getting smacked up all season. Zion Williamson overall against LeBron.
The only one that looked competitive in that game was Zion.
And I just don't get to that.
Was balling, but he wasn't playing enough, which I still don't get. Yeah. CJ McCollum was he ready to go to Cancun already?
He was in Cancun. He was in full Cancun mode in that game. I looked at CJ and I'm like, number one, first of all, CJ McCollum look a little bit like Jaleel White when he plays Steve Urkel. He got that Steve Urkel look to him. So salute to you, Jaleel White. I heard you got a new strain of cannabis out. It's a new strain of cannabis out. I don't know if it's called the Urkel or something like Purple Urkel. Yeah, shout out to you on that. But to your point, Zion was cooking, man. He was cooking until he went down late in the game with a mysterious. That was the most mysterious, weird injury I ever seen before. He made a regular layup, and then right after he made the layup, he goes running to the locker room in frustration. And I think
it's that hamstring when players, like, depending on their body, how their body is built, like, you could stretch a muscle during the game off simple stuff. And I feel like that's what happened to Zion. And it was kind of noticeable, like when I seen him, I'm like, okay, it might be his hamstring. So
okay, so you saw it. And to me, I didn't know what it was. It just looked like, I don't know, like he made a layup and somebody in the front row.
And they still haven't said none on him getting an MRI. Like, what's the
nothing? Nothing at all.
I think it's probably hamstring though.
It looked crazy to me. Like I started speculating, but okay, I'm gonna go with what you said. If it looked like it could be a hamstring. So I just hope Zion is able to make a speedy recovery and we can see him back on the court. Because I said
you've been balling, like
he was cooking.
He was giving me Duke vibe. I'm like, yeah, okay. Zion,
I mean, he was taking it to the rack over Anthony Davis. He was speeding past LeBron.
Contact finishing.
They ain't have no answer for him. They ain't have no answer for Zion. So the Lakers are kind of fortunate that he did go down when he did, because he was cooking. And had he stayed in that game, it could have been another outcome. Now, I was just as you. I was shocked that Brandon Ingram had a minutes restriction on him in an important game like this. This is a playoff level game, and you have a minutes restriction. Him playing more minutes could have decided that game.
Yeah, I agree.
When Zion went down and when Zion wasn't even on the floor, the Pelicans were struggling to score. Like, they were searching for somebody to score the ball, and Brandon Ingram could have been that guy. So I'm really, really surprised and shocked that he was on a minutes restriction. Like you say, CJ McCollum, he was out there looking like hot trash. Like, that boy, like 4 for 15 from the field goal range, and then 1 for 9 for 3. This is like, what did they bring you from Portland for? What was the whole purpose for you even coming from Portland, fam? You out there shooting 1 for 9. I can see why Portland ain't want to re-up on him, because he wanted a contract, and Portland was just like deuces. That he was out of there. But now I'm starting to see why, because CJ is not that guy. I thought that maybe he could be a good second option for Zion, but honestly, he's not a second option. He's not a third option, really. I'm thinking he might be like a 6-man kind of an option at this stage. If you've given us 1 for 9 for 3-point range, then yeah, you definitely ain't what we paying you for. And he getting paid. Like, they gave him a bag, and you getting paid like that, and you come out there and you stink it up. Like, that's horrible. That's trash, CJ. And honestly, I don't know what his future is going to be there. I don't know how many years he got left on the contract, but they really got to look and think long and hard on what they're going to do with CJ, because he did this last year too. This ain't the first time CJ came in here stinking it up like that. If you look at his numbers last year and around this time, he was stinking it up then too. So yeah, CJ, I don't know. You got to hold that L. So Lakers move on. Lakers captured the 7th seed, so they move on against the Denver Nuggets. The New Orleans Pelicans is that other playing game that plays tonight against the Sacramento Kings, which we'll give our predictions on that in a minute. Sacramento, speaking of them, they beat your Golden State Warriors, which both you and I picked the Warriors in that game to win. But Sacramento won that game 118-94. I'm going to let you take off in a minute on this, because these are your boys, but I'm just going to throw some numbers real quick, and I'm going to give the stage to you. Klay Thompson, I got to start off with Klay. 0 for 10 from the field.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. And like I was telling you, I was surprised that he started, because it seemed like when they made the move to put him on the bench, he was actually playing better. But then you pointed out the fact that over the last 10 games of the season, he started picking it up and he was balling. So he earned his way back into the starting lineup. So I can't really be mad at Steve Kerr for that part. But again, in a game of this magnitude, if you see he ain't going like that 0 for 10, then, you might have to change it up a little bit. But Klay was not the only one on the Warriors who had a bad night. Golden State as a team, your Warriors shot 10 for 32 from three-point range. 10 for 32. That's hard. I don't know if I ever remember the Warriors as a team shooting that bad. Steph Curry by himself can hit 10 threes. So 10 for 32 for the whole team, not going to make it. CP3, Chris Paul, and I'm not just talking about CP3 because his number is 3. CP3 only had 3 points off the bench. He had 3 points off the bench, and he's supposed to be a future Hall of Famer, and they brought him in there. He's getting a bag. CP3 getting a bag, and you come in there, and you only get them boys 3 points off the bench. That's horrible. Kuminga, who's supposed to be the promising young budding star, he comes in and gives you 16 points off the bench, respectable 16. But for somebody who's supposed to be the future of the franchise in a game like this, 16 points not going to make it either. Draymond Green, 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds in the whole game. I ain't talking about
chill out. You trying to cut the whole team.
No, in the whole game, Draymond give you 3 rebounds, boy. Like, what is that? Me and you could go out there and get 3 rebounds just on accident, just standing there and let the ball come to us. We'll get 3 rebounds. And on the other side of the ball, you let De'Aaron Fox. I mean, he's the guy. He lit him up for 24 points. But the key, to me, the key for Sacramento, this dude, Keegan Murray. Every time I watch a Sacramento game, and I don't watch a couple of maybe like 3 or 4 games it is this season all the way through, that Keegan Murray cat shows up every single time. He gave them boys 32 points and hit 8 threes. When the announcer says Keegan, the crowd say Murray. Once they get it going like that, he don't miss. It's all your stage, TZ.
Wide open, like that game for me was Warriors' bad offensive night, which we can't have. We got to at least score, even if we ain't getting stops. We got to score to have a chance to be in this game.
Yeah,
I seen too many turnovers. I feel like our offense wasn't set. It was like rushing. We weren't precise with how we run our sets or how we pass or. It was tough, and
I know it had to be hard for you to watch. Had to be hard for you to watch.
We had the primary defenders too, like to guard De'Aaron Fox. We had Wiggins on them at a point. We had Kuminga on them at a point.
But what happened to Klay? Like, talk to me. You tap dancing around. You're tap dancing around the issue here. We got to talk about this 0 for 10. Like this 0 for 10. What's up with that? What's up with Klay with the 0 for 10?
I don't know. To the point of shooters gonna keep shooting whether it's falling or not.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just weird because all the shots I seen were Klay shots, open shots, wide open shots, like even lightly contested normal shots that he hit.
So you think it's mental? In his head? You think it's in his head at this point?
Like, okay, one of these gonna fall, Klay. Okay, the next one gonna fall. Keep shooting. He's still shooting mid ranges, pull ups, threes, corner 3. I'm like, he still can't make nothing.
Yeah, it was hard for me to watch. It was really hard for me to watch Klay like that.
A splash, bro. One of the greatest shooters of all time.
One of the greatest shooters that I've ever seen. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. First of all, when we was talking a few episodes ago, comparing him to Reggie Miller, Reggie would have never went 0 for 10. I'll tell you that right now. Reggie he's never went 0 for 10. Yeah. Not even in his worst game has he went 0 for 10. But after the game was over, Klay Thompson just stood there on the court when the rest of the team was walking to the bench. He just stood there and looked up at the crowd and just was like, almost like taking it in. For a moment, I kind of felt like that might be it for him. Like he was thinking about hanging it up. But then when you listen to him after the game, when they interviewed him at, during the press conference, it sounds like he don't want to go out like that. Like he's like, I'm not going to go out like on my last game.
And you know what? We will be back.
I hope so.
Warriors, they're going to retain their Steph, Klay, and Draymond will be in a Warrior jersey next year. I guarantee it. For
y'all
sure.
got to make
We
some
already
moves
know Steph.
around him. Y'all got to make some decisions on everybody. CP3, y'all got to make decisions on him. Y'all got to make decisions on, that Kuminga dude, Looney. I think Looney's up his contract coming up too. Y'all got a couple, and then your young players. Y'all got a couple of young players. What's the white boy with the curly hair? Yeah, him. He showed some promise, but how long is he gonna stick around and want to play in this kind of a role when he's kind of wasting his youth a little bit and not getting a chance to really show what he got if he don't get playing time? So y'all got to make some decision on some of these pieces.
I think Pajinsky will be there. I think he'll stay.
I hope so. I hope so. I definitely want to see that.
The only answer for me is like Clay, but I think Clay will stay. And probably either Wiggins or Chris Paul will be gone. Probably one of them two, I think,
or both. I mean, it might be both of them. I don't see a scenario where Chris Paul comes back and plays for the Golden State Warriors.
I think he could still.
You think so? Well, yeah, that's something we got to keep our eye on. Y'all lay around for that. Y'all let us know in the comments how y'all feel about it. Y'all think Chris Paul should and will come back to the Warriors? I personally think he needs to go to a team that it just needs veteran leadership. There's too many veterans already on Golden State. I think he needs to go to a team that needs veteran, like the Spurs. One of my men, shout out to my boy Brady, who is telling me Chris Paul going to the Spurs would actually be a good move for Wemby. Because now you got somebody who can mold and mentor Wemby. He's at the stage, Chris Paul, that is, of his career, where he's more valuable in the locker room more maybe than he might be on the court. So I think that might be something that Popovich wants to consider.
Yeah. That's a chance for Wemby grow.
Yeah, and he's going to get Wemby the ball, and, Wemby could use that. So I could definitely see that happening, but we'll see what happens with Chris Paul.
You still got Popovich. I think Popovich stays and keeps coaching, so that's a veteran right there too, just on the coaching side.
Can you imagine that? Popovich with an extension of himself on the court in Chris Paul? That would be that's something. Hey, Brady, you on to something with that one, fam. I know you watching, but that's a hell of an idea. So yeah, keep your eyes and ears open on that. Now, these couple of games that we got coming up tonight, one of them about to tip off here in a second. The Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls. My Heat we're at home against the Chicago Bulls tonight. Now, no Jimmy Butler, no Terry Rozier. I would still like to believe that just our determination, our grit, and our culture is that we have enough and coaching to beat the Chicago Bulls. Now, even without Jimmy and without Terry, I think that what we have in our zone defense and the players that we do have should be enough to beat the Bulls, because I think the Bulls are already in Cancun mode personally. I don't even know how they beat the Hawks, because last time I saw the Bulls, they looked like they was ready to go, like they was ready to be in Cancun. So I got my Heat winning tonight over the Chicago Bulls. Who you got in this Heat Bulls game?
I'm gonna take Chicago.
You got the Bulls? Ooh, okay. I can't even be mad at you though. I can't be mad at nobody who picked Chicago in this game tonight, because I mean, look,
I see where you're coming from in terms of how Miami's going to respond and play without Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. It's going to be competitive and tough, but I'm going to go Chicago.
You going Chicago in that one? All right. I can't be mad. Y'all drop it in the comment. Well, by the time this we upload this, the game going to be on and popping, so we're going to see who's right, me or TZD. Sacramento versus the Pelicans tonight. Look, Zion is not playing. Brandon Ingram is still on the minutes restriction. Plain and simple. Keegan Murray, De'Aaron Fox. I got Sacramento tonight. Who you got?
I got the Pelicans.
Whoa, you got the Pelicans tonight.
I'm just gonna put it all out there and be bold. I'm going Pelicans.
That's a bold one. That's a real.
DJ got to do something. You got to respond from that game, buddy, from last week, because that ain't it, gang. Brandon Ingram ball. They got some shooters around. They play hard. Urgency is the key for them again tonight. They need that urgency, that fire, come out, be competitive, play hard. You know what I'm saying? And Willie Green,
winner go home.
Willie Green got a coach too.
Willie Green got to coach. That's a big one. He got to coach. It is win or go home. Willie Green, you got to make some of these tough decisions. If you're on the ropes and Brandon Ingram is already at his minutes limit, you might have to just take that chance and roll them dice and throw him back out there.
Or he has to see how the game goes to see how he can play him. Like
exactly
who's on the floor for them. Okay, they don't have their main scorer. Let me put Ingram in, give us a boost, or let me take him out so he can rest for the third. Like, it's just different ways you got to see as a coach or how you can put him in the game so he can be effective.
I completely agree with you on that. So, yeah, we'll see which
game. So, he your best player. He got to play.
It's win or go home. If you don't win, the season is over. So, there ain't nothing else to play for after this. So, you got to play your guys. You got to play your best guys. So, so with that being said, that's our play-in tournament right there. Now, for the playoffs that starts tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
This is when it really gets cooking, baby. This is it right here. This is the best time of the year. Indeed, it is. So
this is when it matters.
This is when it matters the most. So the way that you got it played out, you got the Chicago Bulls winning tonight. So that means you have the Chicago Bulls versus the Boston Celtics. And in that series, how do you call that one?
I got Boston in 5.
Woo, Boston in 5 games.
Wouldn't be surprised if they sweep them. But I think Chicago will get 1 at home. So 4-1.
I'm gonna
sweep anyway. Almost.
I'm gonna stay along the lines of where you going with this. Though I got the Heat winning tonight, so I got the Heat versus Boston. But either way, I still got Boston winning, regardless of who they play. But I got Boston in 6 if they play against the Heat. If they play against the Bulls, it's a sweep. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If they play against the Bulls, I got the Celtics in a sweep. If they play against Miami,
at all. That's option A, option B for them.
Yeah, I don't even think. I think once Chicago, if Chicago wins, once they get on the court and they see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis and all of them boys cooking, they Cancun it. They gonna Cancun it and get their ass up out of there. So I like Boston either way. Philadelphia 76ers versus the New York Knicks. I'm gonna call this one now. I'm gonna go Philly in 6 games over New York. What you got?
I like that. I'm gonna go with you on that one too. Philly in 6.
Yeah, I like Philly in 6 over on that. Joel is starting to get his rhythm back. Tyrese Maxey is a complete problem. No disrespect to Jalen Brunson, but I don't know that he's gonna be enough. I don't see enough around Jalen with no Julius Randle and just a bunch of role players. I don't know that that's going to be enough to stick with Philly. So, yeah, I know, Kev, I hear you already in my ear about this. All y'all New York Knicks fans, it's not because I'm hating. I just don't think y'all can beat Philly in a series without Julius Randle. So, yeah, I got Philly in 6 games in that series.
I think size will play a factor for them.
Size is going to be huge because, Philly got size everywhere. New York Knicks, they do have, they got their big man, what's his name, Robinson.
Robinson and Hartenstein. I think
and Hartenstein. So they got a little size too, but I don't know, man. Philly got the size and talent. So I think Philly's going to get that in 6 games. Who do you got in Cleveland Cavs and the Magic? I've been going back and forth with this one all week. Like one day I'll wake up being like it's the Cavs in 7. Next one is the Magic in 7. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. But I'm going Orlando Magic in 7.
Ooh, that's bold.
Yeah, it is.
You think Paolo going to be Donovan Mitchell?
I think. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is a spectacular player, and so is Paolo. But I think the supporting cast for Orlando, I think Orlando has better support than what Donovan has. I mean, Donovan does have Darius Garland in the backcourt with him. He does have Jared Allen, his big man, who last year Jared Allen really didn't do much in the playoffs. So I mean, there's that, and then Max Strus is there too. So they got a little something, but man, Orlando is dynamic, man. Franz Wagner, They just got a squad, man. Carroll.
That's tough.
Yeah. So I'm going Orlando in 7.
I'll say Cavs in 5 or 6.
Whoa! So you don't see this even going for wow. Wow,
No.
the disrespect. I hope my people from Orlando is watching this.
They have a better team around them to help Donovan Mitchell out. I feel like the Magic, they aren't consistent enough when it comes down to it, like especially in the playoffs, how the game's gonna slow down.
And they're young.
And that's a part. They're young, so the experience of the Cavs kind of helped them. So I'm gonna go Cavs.
Okay, you got the Cavs, and so you going 5 or 6? I need a number. I need a solid number.
I'm gonna go Cavs in 6.
Smart man. Because I was gonna say
Cavs in 6.
Okay, all right. We're gonna hold you to that one. All right, let's move over to the West. Western Conference. We got this one. Okay, we got the Suns. No, let's start with OKC. OKC versus we both picking. No, you got OKC versus New Orleans Pelicans. So how do you see that playing out?
Depending on the help of Zion, if Zion come back, maybe he can go 6. Either way, I would still say OKC, regardless if they had Zion or not. Obviously, that's tough. We don't know. But I'm going to go OKC in 5.
I'm taking, I like that too. I'm going to go OKC right along with you. I'm going to take OKC over the Kings. And if OKC plays against the Kings, they're more evenly matched than what people might think. Like when you look at the roster of Sacramento and look at the roster of OKC, that series might surprise people in how far it goes. I think that has the potential to be a 7-game series, but I'm going to take OKC in 6 because SGA is between him and Chet Holmgren. And what's the other one who got caught up in the scandal with the young
Giddey. But I think Jalen Williams he can emerge as a second best player in this playoffs.
He could. This could be his
breakout. Side.
This could be his breakout. I'm with you on that. Either way, I got OKC in 6 games. Like to your point though, if it ends up being New Orleans that goes in there and Zion plays, that could definitely tip the scales. I still would take OKC in 6 games in that one too. So either way it goes
on that one. That's intriguing right there.
Yeah, that is. So tonight's game is going to be really, really important to see if New Orleans can extend this thing long enough for Zion to come back. So we keep our eyes on that. Let's swing over with the Nuggets and the Lakers. I got the Denver Nuggets beating the Lakers in 5 games. What you got?
I'm right there with you. Yeah. I'm going to go Denver in 6, but Denver on top. Denver in 6.
They swept this same Lakers last year.
The Lakers will win 1 on the road and 1 at home.
I don't know. I think I give the Lakers one
on top for 2.
I give the Lakers 1 game in this series, and that's only because they got swept last year. And I know that LeBron ain't finna get swept in back-to-back years to the same team. Like that's
right. Yeah.
That I just don't see that happening. I don't see the league, petitioning for that to happen. I just don't see that happening. So I'm gonna go Nuggets in 5 games, but the Nuggets as a team is just too overwhelming, and there's no answer for Nikola. Not even Anthony Davis is an answer for him. And then if Jamal Murray is cooking and Nikola is cooking at the same time with their complement of role players they have with Porter and then Aaron, it's just too much. Aaron Gordon, that's just too much.
And Denver's bench been playing better as well lately too.
They have been. So yeah. So you got Nuggets in 6. I got Nuggets in 5. What about the Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves?
This series is intriguing as well. Like
no Karl Anthony Towns.
Why not? Karl Anthony Towns back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, he's back. He is back. Yeah. Okay. Forgive me. So who you got then in this one?
I'm gonna go Minnesota just on the fact when it comes down to it, I think they're gonna get more stops than the Suns.
I think that's a good point. And if it comes down to defense, it's definitely going to be the Wolves. But I think all year long, Kevin Durant has been hearing everybody talk about everybody except him. This is the first season where KD's name hasn't really been mentioned in MVP. Like his name hasn't really been mentioned that much in almost anything other than how his team is underperformed. So I think on this stage, KD really steps up. He gets his boys. I mean, this is the first time all three, their big three is healthy. So, they got Bradley Beal, and then they got who's their other star player? His name just slips me. Devin Booker. Yeah. So I think that's enough offense for them to be able to beat the Timberwolves. This is also the potential of a 7-game series. So I'm going to take Phoenix in 7 games. I'm going to take Phoenix Suns in 7 only because of the offensive firepower. But if it turns into a defensive matchup, then the Timberwolves should take that. Either way, I like a 7-game series. So you said the Wolves in how many games you call that?
I'm going to go Minnesota in 7.
Okay. Oh, this is your first 7-game series, I think you said so far. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's a 7-gamer. I like the Suns. You like the Wolves, so we'll see how that go. The Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. This is another intriguing one. Another potential 7-gamer.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm going to take the championship pedigree of Kawhi Leonard. I'm going to take the defense of Kawhi. I'm going to take the coaching of Ty Lue. So I'm going with the Clips over the Mavs in 7 games. What about you?
This one is tough as well, too, especially if Kawhi plays, it really puts the Clippers at advantage even more because then that's 2 defenders they can switch on Luka and Kyrie. I'm gonna go Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6. Okay, I think this first round we got a lot of good matchups. We got the Clippers and the Mavs. I think is going to be a good one. The Suns and the Wolves is going to be a really good one. OKC versus whoever it be, whether it be the Kings or New Orleans, is going to be a good one. The Cavs and the Magic is going to be a good one. And now I've been saving this one for the end because these are your boys. So I've been saving this one. We're going to jump back over to the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, who already have said that Giannis may miss the first game or 2 of the series against the Indiana Pacers. How you calling that one?
Bucks in 6.
I agree with you. Milwaukee Bucks in 6 games.
To me, this couldn't go much better for us because we want to see the Pacers. They really got us messed up all year. They won the season series. They beat us in the in-season tournament.
They did.
So it's kind of bad blood between us right now. They trying to take the game ball.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on between them two. So I feel like I wanted to see the Pacers as well because they got us messed up, but I think we're going to respond. And especially, now you could say before the trade, they didn't have Siakam. We played all them games versus them without Siakam.
Yeah.
So it was basically Halliburton. But we didn't. I know people hating on Doc, but we didn't have Doc in that whole series. We had Griffin still.
That's a good point.
That's an advantage for us too with better defense or how we defend them with Doc than Griffin.
Much different coach. Yeah, coaching style is going to be much different. So yeah, that's going to be a good one. I agree with you. I'm going Bucks also in 6 games, mostly because Giannis is missing at least game 1. Had Giannis been booked for game 1, then I would have y'all in 5 games beating.
I said we win game 1. Giannis at game 3 because if we lose game 2, it's 1-1. So
yeah, and then they could split
depending on how he feel, 3 or 4, he could play. So
they could split that. Yeah. So Yeah, that's a good point. So I like that. We got some real good picks out here for y'all. So y'all have to just
y'all
stay
let us
tuned.
know in the comments how y'all feeling, who y'all picking, who y'all got all the way, who y'all got winning these series. We want to know.
Yeah, we want to know all that. That. Let us know how y'all feeling about our picks, and also let us know what y'all picks looking like. So yeah, so that's it, man. We got a game coming up real soon. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm ready for my Heat. Hopefully they show me something. But before that, we come to my favorite time of the show, and I got one for you again, TZ. I got one that you gonna like. Matter of fact, I got two of them. We got two history moments for you.
Banger. 2 for 2.
On this day,
okay.
On this very day in 1992. In 92, that was a year. That was because both of my moments is from 92. This day in 1992, Dennis Rodman of the Detroit Pistons, he won his very first rebounding title. Now get these numbers, TZD. He won his first rebounding title. Overall, for the year, he had a total of 1,572 rebounds. He averaged 19 rebounds a game. He averaged almost 20 rebounds a game by himself. This not even the crazy part, TZ. The crazy part is that the Pistons as a team for the whole year had a total of 3,631 rebounds. That means that Dennis Rodman by himself had almost half the rebounds for his entire team. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't even think we'll ever see something like that.
Who was down there when y'all can't get no rebounds? Like what's going on?
Dennis was just a beast, fam. Like he was beasting. When we get into our segment, our closing moment segments that we gonna run this summer, we gonna run some of those Detroit Piston Dennis Rodman games of the last 5 minutes of those games. And I'm gonna show you how he was beasting on those boards. It was nobody could get rebounds if Rodman was in the game. It was crazy. So salute to Dennis Rodman. Salute to you.
Salute to you, Dennis Rodman, because who down there can't get no boards? They kids.
The 20 rebounds a game almost. Man, that's crazy. Dennis Rodman makes our history moment of the week. And not only that, on this same day, in that same year, David Robinson, the Admiral David Robinson, the center for the San Antonio Spurs before Tim Duncan. This was David Robinson. He became the third player in NBA history to be top 10 in 5 different categories. 23 points a game, 12 rebounds a game, 55% field goal shooting, 2.3 steals per game, and 5 block shots per game, all in the same season. That's crazy number.
I like them blocks. 5 blocks. That's
5 blocks a game. How do you nobody like he's only the third person in NBA history that was in the top 10 of all of those 5 categories. So salute to you, David Robinson, the Admiral, San Antonio Spurs. Salute to
David Robinson is a 75 top player. That's crazy.
Yeah, he is. So those of y'all that don't know, y'all Google Robinson, go on YouTube and y'all look up some David Robinson highlights. He was that guy. He was that guy. 2-time NBA champion, San Antonio Spurs. That says it all right there. He won 2 championships for the Spurs. So David Robinson, salute to you, one of the all-time greats. Now this is the drill. It's time for the drill. We're going to get into the drill by basically running down the list of all of our games that we got coming up tomorrow. I'm just going to throw them at you, TZ, and you let me know who you got winning game 1 of each series, starting with the Orlando Magic visiting the Cleveland Cavaliers game 1. Who you got?
I got the Cavs.
I got the Cavs winning game 1 as well. I got Cleveland winning game 1 at home. Phoenix Suns on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves in game 1. Who you got?
Minnesota.
I got Minnesota winning game 1 of that game. 76ers on the road versus New York Knicks. I like Philly to go into Madison Square Garden and steal game 1. Who you got?
I'm going to go
Tough one.
That's a tough one.
Madison Square Garden, baby. Game
That's
1 of the playoffs.
I'm gonna go Knicks winning game 1.
You got New York in game 1. Just the energy of the Garden and Madison Square in New York, Spike Lee, all of that. You got all that going on. Everybody, all the stars going to be out. Game 1. It might be a bit too much for Philly, but I like Philly to steal that and ride the momentum of their last game. You like New York winning game 1. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention to that one. LA Lakers on the road versus the Denver Nuggets. Game 1, I like Denver.
I got Denver.
All right. Sunday's game. According to you, it's going to be the Chicago Bulls going into the Boston TD Gardens. Who you got in that game 1?
Boston.
I already said if it's Chicago Bulls, then it's a sweep. So I got Boston winning game 1, whether it's against the Bulls or whether it's against the Heat. I still like Boston winning game 1. Dallas Mavericks on the road going to play against the Clippers in game 1. Who you got?
I got the Clippers.
I got the Clippers winning game 1 also. Game 1, I definitely think the Clippers are going to get that at home.
Regardless, just in terms, if Kawhi doesn't play, which I think he will, I still will go Clippers. But, yeah, I got Clippers.
I agree. Indiana Pacers coming into your building against the Milwaukee Bucks for game 1 on Sunday. Who you got?
I got the Bucks.
That's the game Giannis might not play. I got the Indiana Pacers still in game 1. I got Indiana going into Milwaukee and still in game 1. Of that, of course, you like your Bucks. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention to that one because that's another one me and TZ disagree on. And then we got, according to you, the New Orleans Pelicans going on the road against the Thunder. And let's say Zion plays. Who wins that game?
OKC.
I like OKC also. New Orleans is not really that great of a road team with or without Zion. And OKC is a tough place to play. So I'm going with OKC Thunder also on that one. So there it is. Those are our picks. We locked and loaded. It's that time of the year. It's playoff time. Show them one more time. Show them the shirt one more time. Let them see it, TZ, just so they know where you stand.
Bucks and 6. We here. We is coming to show out.
There it is. This TZ squad. You know, y'all lay around for it. We got the Miami Heat.
This is when it matters for all the teams out there. This is when it matters. I don't care what team you are. This is when it matters. What y'all gonna do?
This is it. This is put up or shut up, win or go home. We got 2 win or go home games tonight. Miami Heat versus the Bulls is going down right about now. So I'm about to jump off and catch up to that game. And then we got Sacramento versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And then after that, it's playoff time, baby. So we're going to catch y'all on the next show on Monday. Is it Monday? We'll be back. So we'll recap a couple of those games. But this is the playoff. So it's going to be fluid through on out. Make sure y'all holler at that IG page. Hit up the IG page.
SportsTime_zone.
Y'all know what it is. Yours truly, Brother Numse, alongside
TZ Dave in the building.
Y'all know what time it is. Make sure y'all show support, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.